first professors of the future studies. Man, that is kind of like a weird, like cool name, but you sound like you're a keyboard. Right? Like, I don't know. It's like FM taught at New School for Social Research in New York in 1960 formed a group of optimistic futurists known as the Upwingers. Wow, I've never heard of this. Who are the new revolutionaries of our time? Right, the people that totally kowtow to the system, to large-scale technologies, right? The people that are totally controlled, right? Totally 100%, over-socialized cretins, right? To borrow a phrase from our friend, right? These quote-unquote revolutionaries, the top conformists of the time, right? The people that want to merge with the machine. Oh, yeah, those guys are revolutionaries. Wow.
Yeah.
You ever heard of this total nonsense? Right? Not the people with poison-tipped arrows that are standing there defending the old-growth forest. But these revolutionaries that want to change man into a machine. Oh, wow. Great revolution you got there, right? They are the geneticists, the biologists, the physicists, the cryonologists. Oh, my God. Right? The people who work for the state. Like, half of these people are just feds. Let's just call it what it is. They're fed revolutionaries. If you could believe that. It's totally paradoxical. Biotechnologists. Total feds, biotechnologists. Right? What? Who has the ability to do that in their garage? You better hope not. That somebody's doing biotechnology in their garage. You better hope not. Right? Nuclear scientists. Right? Another thing you better hope people aren't doing in their garage. Right? Your neighborhood go boom-baye. Cosmologists, radio astronomers, cosmonauts, social scientists. Oh, social scientists. Yeah, they're your friends. Youth Corps volunteers. That's probably the only group he mentioned so far that might be, but a lot of those people, like, I don't know, you should look into what they've done in some of those youth organizations. I wouldn't want to drop my kid off in those organizations. Internationalists? Or you got to be kidding me. Internationalists are revolutionaries?
Balls.
What are they revolutionizing for? What?
Well, I mean,
they're trying to bring back the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, exactly, Rocky. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Exactly.
The way I look at a revolution is it's just a turning of the wheel of the same system. So it's just the same stuff in a different degree or to a different degree. And usually that degree of tyranny is determined by technology.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe they don't understand that's the objective factor of power. Or I think maybe they think that by putting it back in the hands of the people, they could liberate the people. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. But yeah, this seems extremely wrong-headed if they think that, that the total collapse of the nation-state model that I was pointing out in the beginning of this, that is a good thing, that the implementation of a global system would liberate us, from what exactly, right? We've already destroyed the nation-state model, right? We already have no ethnos. We have no cultural traditions left, right? We're trying to install a complete monoculture worldwide where it's totally based on techno-liberalism, right? So, I mean, the global system is being put in place by the controllers, right? So how could you be an internationalist and be a revolutionary against the system? I don't understand, let alone support the development of large-scale technologies and be a revolutionary against the system. I really don't understand. Not that I'm promoting revolution against the system. Okay, don't get it twisted, right? We're simply talking about the ideas that are mentioned in this article. They are calling themselves the revolutionaries. We're commenting on it. So don't get it twisted.
I would say the system encourages revolution on itself.
Yeah, it's a good point, Dom. It's like you know, it's kind of like the system's neatest trick, right? It's like its way of purging itself, right? It's a perpetual revolution of Trotsky, right? Where you have to purge, system has to purge itself. It's counter-revolutionary measures.
This paragraph has like Agenda 2030 vibes to it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
As an example of the revolution, quote unquote.
Yeah, the revolution for technology against humanity. That's what it should be called.
Yep.
You know, humanists, yet still they call themselves. Good Lord. Science fiction writers. Normative thinkers. Normative thinkers? What does that even mean? That's probably just us. That's probably how they classify us. Look at these normative thinkers.
Look at these normies.
Yeah, we got a lot of normative thinkers around here. Inventors. They and others are revolutionizing the human condition, he says. Oh yeah, they sure are doing that, but at what cost? Right? In foundation not foundational, fundamental way. Their achievements and goals go far beyond the most radical ideologies of the old order. So look at this. There's an old order. What is he comparing that to? The new world order? Good Lord. Why don't you just say it, pal?
He's probably a Fabian socialist.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Yeah, so here's this word here. I think we'll leave it with this great word, post-humanity. We'll maybe talk amongst ourselves for the rest of the stream, and then I'll play some music, and we'll conclude this. Obviously, we're doing a much longer show tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
we're on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
I put a little article in the back for you too that is very related to the stuff that you were talking about with the brain. So I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll open that up after we read.
It's pretty insane stuff for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Neuro. Yeah.
Oof.
Looks like right into the thing.
Giant picture of a brain there. Anyways.
So in his book, Are You Transhuman, 1989, FM described what he regarded as signs of the emergence of the transhuman. Good Lord. In the FM's terminology, right, a transhuman is a transitional human. Oh, that's interesting, right? So like I said in the beginning, right, man himself is a bridge that must be overcome. Right, this whole Nietzschean idea, right, that man is this transition to a new phase of man, right? Someone who, by virtue of their technology usage, and I'm reading Bostrom again, cultural values and lifestyle constitutes an evolutionary link. There's a key term, evolutionary link to a coming era of post-humanity. So look at that. He admits it. The goal of transhumanism is post-humanism. The signs that FM saw as indicative of transhuman status includes prosthesis, right? That means, putting on limbs, right? Probably mechanical, plastic surgery, intensive use of telecommunications, right? Which we're all a part of, right? We're all using extended brains in a way, right? Artificial brains. A cosmopolitan outlook of a globe-trotting lifestyle. Look at that. Androgyny. Whoa. He brought that one out. That's what Rocky was talking about. So there you go, Rocky. he straight up said it. Androgyny. Mediated reproduction. There's some more trans stuff, right? such as in vitro fertilization, absence of religious belief. Oh, he straight up said it. Get rid of that religion. Put that religion in the closet. Keep that, keep that belief in the closet, boy. Transhumanism is taking over. Good Lord.
The new religion.
Right? And yeah, exactly.
So
They want to create a
edgy.
new religion. Yeah, so edgy, exactly. Right, and a rejection of traditional family values. We all came from a mommy and a daddy, but they reject that. However, it was never satisfactorily explained why someone who says, who say rejects family values, has a nose job, and spends a lot of time on jet planes is in closer proximity to post-humanity than the rest of us. They clearly are. They're clearly less human. But that, by and by, my friends, as we studied with Shang Tzu, right? Those who use machines possess mechanical hearts. But yeah, blessings to the people. I greatly appreciate your participation.
Yeah, I would just say that the term post-human doesn't even exist because it exists in the future and we don't even know what's going to happen in the future. When right now we know that humans exist. So it's basically a fantasy about a possibility that could be. No different than when people talk about like anarchists, like I am complaining about the government, like, well, why don't you do something about it? It's because like they could say we're fantasizing about a particular future, and that's exactly what these people are doing, except that they basically have the entire global economy behind them.
Yeah, I can't believe he's saying on the one end that this is the trajectory of the way things are moving, and on the second end he's saying that this is a revolutionary thing that's being brought about by humanity as a whole.
Well,
Right.
it's as if they could stop it if they wanted to. That's the implication of like, well, we just want to do this, but it's like, could you do it? Could you go against it if you wanted to?
Right. That's the ultimate question, I think, in defining whether they're, maximizing or limiting man's freedom. But I mean, at the one end, we see a total loss of autonomy with the proliferation of technologies.
Your microphone changed to your laptop, I think.
I mean, he's loud and clear.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, maybe that's just Neuro Jack. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might just be me.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I
sounded
found
like
it. I found a book that came in the mail today. It's by Reverend Robert Taylor, and he speaks about how believing is worse. Like Lazarus was risen from the dead. Is that allegory or is that a fact? And that
No.
yeah. So, and even the resurrection of Christ, is that allegory or is that? And he mentions that believing this stuff is worse than if you're an unbeliever. That actually
What do you
believing
mean?
it, huh?
What do you mean, Rocky?
Well,
Break that down.
The book, he says that. Okay, right. Let me see. But will it be pretending? I'll try. Okay, like.
But he's a reverend?
The self-same heaven that frowns on them looks lowering upon us, and who were they, and what was their offense? Was it atheism? Was it deism? Was it infidelity? No, it was for church, the chapel going. It was for adoring, believing, and worshiping. They worshiped the beast. So like, it says that we're not supposed to worship the beast, but it says Christ was a lamb who died. He was our lamb. So they worshiped the beast, the lamb, and that what beast they worshiped. But I know that if you go into any of the churches and chapels you will find them worshiping the lamb. And if worshiping a lamb to be most suspicious viciously like worshiping a beast, you may keep the color in your cheeks while mine are blanched with fear. Okay, so it says not to worship the beast, but we worship the lamb. And if you believe that, I don't know. The unbeliever only can be absolutely safe from this danger. He only who has no religion at all is sure not to be of the wrong religion. He who worships neither God nor devil is sure not to mistake one of those gentlemen or the other. But will it be pretended that these are only metaphors of speech, that the thing said is not the thing that's meant? Why then they are very ugly metaphors. And what is saying that which you don't mean and meaning the contrary to what ye say, but lying? But if the Christian hath a right to say that there are some parts and even many parts of scriptures which are not to be taken as strictly and literally true, but which must be understood as metaphors and allegories, what right can he have to dispute over rights to maintain that the whole gospel story is a metaphor and an allegory from first to last, that there is not a word of truth in it, that it was not written to pass for truth, but only as a vehicle to convey moral instructions after the well-known Oriental style, a fable with a moral to it, of which
I get what he's saying now. I mean, I think he's going too far personally, but
I don't know.
That's kind of
All of
interesting. I might just send that book my way.
I just got the book. I put it in. I put a
it's crazy. It's like he's a believer, but he's like a mythicist.
Yeah. Well, he's saying that the constellations are the stars are written, and it speaks of the.
Minko has entered the chat.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I don't think Rocky knows flamenco. He knows Heinsohn, Gunnar Heinsohn. Yeah.
And Michael Heiser.
Oh, Michael Heiser does that too? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, he talks about astrotheology too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he says that the stars are living beings, and that they.
Who, Michael Heiser?
Yeah, Michael Heiser says that the stars are living beings, and that the roaming stars would be.
Yeah, that's what Rupert Sheldrake says too.
They're like how they worship the roaming stars. They always, Mars, Venus, Jupiter. These are all roaming stars that left their place where they're supposed to be. And this is who all the ancients used to worship: the roaming stars, the constellations, and that there's truth in it. There's truth in the stars. It says that God put them there for signs and for seasons. So why do Christians reject the stars? Why do they not try to understand these things? It says that the wise men came from the east, and how did they get there? They followed a fucking star.
I think also the Sumerians were some of the first to name the constellations, if I remember correctly, that they had a sense of humor and they enjoyed using puns and clever wordings to label the shapes and the movements that they saw in the celestial in the sky screen, and like, for instance, one being an arc, or one being, all the stories perhaps in some mythological stories or religious text could very well just be stemming from the origin story that the Sumerian made up about the movement of the star and what they thought it was doing. Or as Venus, there's so many, the goddess Inanna from the Sumerian text that goes down into the underworld, the seven gates, to then die and resurrect 3 days later and rise again as the evening star is the story of the Venus that they saw in
That's
the
the
sky.
story also of the sun. The sun goes
Yep.
down in the winter and is down for 3 days and then rises again.
Yeah,
It's like
so I
the
like that
sun.
astrotheology stuff very much, but I'm just gonna say bye now before it was such a pleasure coming up
Yeah,
and
thank you so much. Yeah.
saying hi. I really like your channel and I'll come back again someday
Yeah,
soon.
blessings. Yeah.
Blessings.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Easy.
I appreciate you.
My son is into
If you
the
don't mind
same
indulging,
thing.
pull up that article for a moment. I think
Oh,
you might like it. Oh,
pull that
sorry,
article up
I lost audio. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah. So we'll pull up that article that Neurojack is talking about, and then we'll basically end this here. I know this is going to invade my entire computer with tons of hundreds of cookies and stuff. So if I can freeze my shit up here.
Cookification.
Cookie Mountain. So yeah. So let's see if this even works. Tons of crap on this website. Good lord, what a fucking. All right, so let's see what the fuck this is. Am I frozen or what?
Your audio's working fine.
Okay, the audio's there. The camera's gone. So let's check this out. The startup is reviving human brain to explore treatment for neurodegenerative diseases. The medical startup says it's disembodied human brains. It's using disembodied human brains in new drug development, research targeting neurodegenerative diseases. A practice that may draw unsettling comparisons to science fiction trope of living brain in a jar. The brains of deceased donors are reportedly being used for work by Bex.org, a Connecticut-based medical startup building on successful attempts to restore limited function in pig brains. A system dubbed Brain X, a targeted life support system for brains, is at the core of Bex.org's work. Thank you so much to Subtle Realms for participating. Restoring metabolic functions in donated organs and enabling extremely invasive research, albeit in a manner that has raised some ethical concerns. Investigating the human brain in their new process, Bex.org supplies recently deceased human brains with a blood substitute. Blood substitute. Oh man, I got a name. That's just a cool name. That'd be a cool name for a metal band. Blood substitute. But yeah, and other fluids that fuel metabolic processes with anesthesia deadens their electrical activity. The artificially life-sustaining liquids. What?
Yeah, they say the pig is the most closest to the human. Something like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, apparatus mimicking the lungs and kidneys inject oxygen and remove waste. Remove waste from what? The brain? Bex.org says the lack of neural firing in the brain induced by the anesthetic drug propofol means they do not experience consciousness. Wait, what? These are deceased human brains. Why the fuck would they experience consciousness? Here, hold on.
It's kind of creepy.
So basically, they take if you die on the operating table, they just basically cut your head open, take the brain out, put it in a vat, and then give you a drug so you're not conscious. That's what's happening.
So they throw the brain in a vat of propofol. Okay, I get what it's saying now.
Yeah.
Electrical activity that's going on. Good lord. All right. So I was getting confused. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So then they drug you up and experiment on you, and then they kill your brain and then cut it into 1,000 pieces and then send it off for study essentially.
All right.
That's some macabre shit, bro.
Okay, so there's only 3 more paragraphs of this. I'll read it. The shelf life of these brains is rather short, only 24 hours. The researchers cut them into hundreds of pieces. These investigations are targeted at ailments such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis may respond to new treatments, allowing detailed information on duration. According to Bexor, the greatest advantage of their work is in deep complexities of how human brain develops over decades. The real-world effects of genetics, environmental exposures, and drug histories are difficult to capture. Simulated computer models, petri dish cells, or whole animal brains.
Yeah, there's a guy, a Russian guy named Valery Spiridova, known for his extreme. He aimed to create a head transplant procedure, claiming it could lead to.
Yeah, I heard about this, Rocky. Didn't he do it like dogs?
No, he had a human brain.
Oh, yeah, I heard another guy that did it with dogs.
Oh,
to, like, transfer 2 dog heads, so then like one dog would like have the like start moving with like the head of another dog. This is some shit, like, but yeah.
Those poor doggos.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, they've tried this shit before. While their work was only recently come to public attention, Bex.org has been working in the space for 5 years now. They say results show close match between the response displayed by preserved examples of those of living brains. So far, company's work is with pig brains has been published. The first human brain paper forthcoming. However, according to Bex.org, recent efforts to curb animal testing may potentially be boon a company offering what they have seen as ethical alternative as part of Bex.org's upscaling. The company says it's developing new laboratory space where a robotic arm will automatically dissect more than 1,600 preserved brains per year. Holy shit. Dude, that is one of the craziest paragraphs I've ever read. What the fuck? That is one of the craziest fucking paragraphs I've ever read. Bex.org is going to make a fucking robotic hand that's going to slice up 1,600 human brains per year. And they're like, this is like their major achievement. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, nothing to see here.
Their public
move along.
How the fuck did they automatically have access to 1,600 brains? But yeah, their public relations arm was working at full steam on a public presentation this week aimed at assuaging those who feared that the brains might still possess some form of consciousness. What? Is everyone insane? That this is the one problem you have, like some sort of ghost, Bex.org did not respond to the inquiries from the debrief about exactly where the brains used in the company's research originate. What the fuck?
Knew it.
What in the fuck?
Some shifty stuff.
However, the company has claimed that family members are informed about how the brains will be used. Holy smokes, dude.
Yeah, so if you want to know about bioethics, this is a pretty good like introductory course right here.
I'll tell you right now, man. If you show up to my house and say you work for a company and you took one of my family members' brains out to go use it however you want to, I'll literally blow your head off and then run away to Canada. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like that. Like, what in the world? What are you thinking? Like, using my family that way? Like, that is insane. Like, anybody who allows that to happen, that is criminal, beyond criminal.
Right, well, here's the trippy part. So, like, they talk about your organ donor card or whatever, or like, you know, you can like.
Oh yeah, buddy.
So there's a huge incentive, obviously, if you sign that. See what I'm saying? So, like, that's why you have to be super careful about that, because like. Yep. There's the monetary interest in this kind of stuff is like very hard to calculate, but it's obviously very high, you know. So
definitely do not sign up for that.
Yeah, so
I've been telling people about that for years. How if you are a donor, they will harvest your organs, sell them, and then charge you.
Well, think about this is maybe one of the reasons why they want atheists, right? But here's the thing: is that even if you're an atheist, they take your family's organs and use it without compensating you. So even as a materialist, it's like, you know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you donate the brain,
up, they have the signature.
Yeah, shouldn't your family get like free access to the drugs in the future or something? You see what I mean? Like, there's no compensation whatsoever.
That is too much money there, bro.
Well, in China, they just do it to the prisoners. In America, they do it through comply. You donate. You put donor on there, and then they because
probably do the prisoners also.
Do you know they had to redefine the meaning of death from your heart stopping, and then they say you're brain dead because your heart has to keep beating in order to transplant organs. Your heart has to still. So before they started this shit, they redefined the meaning of death. You can be brain dead in a coma, and there's actual evidence that people in a coma feel the surgery, and while they're taking their organs out while these people are alive, their heart's still beating, but they're considered brain dead.
It's like when anesthesia doesn't work properly and the person feels every little bit of the surgery, like people commit, they delete themselves over that kind of pain that they feel when the doctors thought they're under anesthesia when they're not. So yeah, I would definitely believe it that they feel it while they're comatose or whatever.
Just like when you abort a baby, the baby reacts, looks like it's in pain when you do it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there like 10 years ago, they had the first head transplant in 2017. Supposedly there's a guy with a transplanted head. It's ridiculous shit. I don't know if I believe it.
All right, so they're putting these brains into simulated human bodies that have simulated human organs, and but they're saying that these organs don't exactly match the conditions, although electrical activity is not needed to assess diseases that may already exist in the brain, so they don't need the electrical activity to look at the neurodegenerative diseases. And they're also making one company called Biohaven that's tested 130 brains, and they're making a second one, which is a machine learning model called Neuro. So anyways, let me reset my camera and come back into the studio, and we'll do closing statements. I'm way over time. I have to get up early and go to a congregational prayer. It's a religious holiday. So anyways, let me reset this thing. Blessings.
Sheesh.
Well, there's nothing else to say other than it's insanity. But I think the way they justify it is because, number one, it's robots, and number two, it's medical. So it sounds impressive to most people.
I hope not, because like that's probably just like their like the front end, that's the what do they call it? Oh shit. Yeah, that's just like a front for what they're actually doing. Because like who makes a robot arm to freaking cut 1,600 brains per, like what the fuck is this shit? That's definitely some kind of DARPA shit, dude.
Well, they're gonna sell it as like, well, don't you want grandma to not have dementia, or you don't have dementia when you get old, or something like that?
Yeah, of course they're gonna sell it like that. I mean, obviously they have to sell it like that in order to manufacture consent.
I mean, it is kind of scary to think about getting dementia, but it's also like, well, in order to do that, we got to rip people's brains out and like slice it open with a robot or something.
My grandfather had dementia. It's horrible.
Yeah, they give you dementia by feeding you all kinds of toxins and putting aluminum in your fucking shit. And then,
but that's what's weird is like they never circle back and like reverse engineer like how do you get there? It's kind of like, well, we're here, so let's like mitigate it from here forward or something. So I don't know. It's kind of
to me, it seems like they're trying to recreate the days of Noah, where they're having half human, half fucking cyborgs, or whatever you want to call them. They're non-human entities. They want to make like Nephilim or whatever you want to call them.
well, Machine, if you don't mind mentioning that theory you had about Jack and the Beanstalk and like Tower of Babel, I would be, because I kind of forgot what you said, but I thought it was kind of related to what Rocky just mentioned. So if you want to do that, I would be interested.
Well, it's not my theory. It's from Hyperborean, where it's this thing about how Jack and the Beanstalk is about how you create the Tower of Babel to go and up to Shambhala to kill the giants that live in Shambhala, because by doing this, you liberate creation, you destroy the material realm, which is an illusion. You know, you kill the demiurge, which people think is God, and so on and so forth. So there's this entire subtext to the idea of Jack and the Beanstalk, which is destroying Shambhala, right, which is the goal of Hyperboreanism, and the whole idea there is to stop the last avatar from manifesting, right? So,
well,
I believe
isn't that
because I think Shambhala is mentioned in the Puranas and so on and so forth. So yeah.
Well, isn't that kind of related to what we're talking about with like DPH's book? Is like what I'm saying is like, isn't there like a way that they're trying to syncretize it, perhaps, of like the Antichrist versus actually like the actual end times or something like that, where there, you know, does that make sense? Like where accelerationism might not actually be trying to hasten Jesus to come, but instead like maybe what you're saying or something like that.
Yeah, to me, Hyperborea is like the North Kingdoms, Hyperborea, the Black Rock, the North Star, the center of the, you know, if you're a flat earther, you know that the North Star never moves, and that all the other stars circle around it, and that the colors mentioned in the scriptures of the throne room of God is the same colors as the North Star. If you look at it through a P1000, you could see. So Hyperborea could be the, you know, Black Rock could be where, you know, the devil was taken up to a mountain and it showed the whole world. Well, if Jesus is at the North Pole, or that's the throne room of God or something like that, then wouldn't Jesus keep his enemy close? Like Black Rock would be in, so that the pit would be, you know, so if we believe in the 1,000-year reign of Christ is over and we're in Satan's little season and he's kind of deceiving the whole world right now.
Well, I tell you what, there's a black rock in Mecca right there on the black cube.
Yeah, so that's part of it.
It's called
the Bible mentions that the new Jerusalem will come down. It's 1,500 miles by 1,500 miles wide by 1,500 miles tall. The only two geographical forms that could be would be a pyramid or a cube with equal dimensions. And so they got people thinking that those are evil, and that if you ever see that coming down, it's a mothership and we need to attack it and shit like that. When it could be actually God coming down with the new Jerusalem.
But do you think that there's do you think there's a sync? Go ahead.
No, no, I'm just saying I'm not gonna believe anything coming down for sure. But I appreciate you guys. You gotta like go. Yeah, but
well, yeah, well, I'll get off. I'm gonna get off.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, thank you so much for joining, Dom. Blessings soon.
Agape.
Yeah, agape. Blessings. Yep. All right.
Sheesh. Easy, Rocky.
Yeah, peace, guys.
And Dom.
Yeah. So what do you guys think?
That last sentence in that article talking about that one company using machine learning for these brains or whatever. It's like you just come to things like, yeah, like if you're saying like the AI is like releasing the demon or whatever. Let's just give it all our, neurological information and brains to it, so it can like literally like devise a plan and enslaving us or killing us through our brains or some shit. Like come on, it's crazy.
Weird shit for sure, Neuro. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, I figure you guys can use some nightmares. Yeah.
Yeah, nightmare fuel, as is this entire channel, pretty much. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, blessings, brother. And the other people that are watching, Dr. D, Mega Man, thank you for watching again. And your commentary. Right, let's read Mega Man's commentary. People spend their lives chasing shadows while reality waits silently behind the machinery of thought. Wow. The mind dreams about life instead of living, dreams about truth instead of seeing, dreams about love while remaining trapped in fear, dreams about awakening while protecting the very illusions that keep it asleep. And worst of all, most people do not even realize they're dreaming. They defend the dream, protect the dream, build identities inside the dream, fight wars inside the dream, suffer endlessly inside the dream. Then call this confusion human nature. Blessings, Mega Man.
Spitting fire over here.
Spitting fire.
Like Matrix kind of vibes going on.
Spitting hot flames.
Maybe I'm too rude to say it, to compare it to that, but yeah.
Yeah, Rocky, what prophetic dream? You got to tell us about that, man. Blessings. So I appreciate you.
Like leave us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, leave us on a crazy cliffhanger here. But yeah, we'll be we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, Rocky will tell us his prophetic vision. Do you guys have anything else?
I just wanted to ask you about. Do you think that it's possible to syncretize the Hyperborean stuff with like Christian pseudo eschatology?
Well, they have. Right, it's Christos Lucifer, right? Christos Lucifer versus Jehovah Satan. Christos Lucifer versus Jehovah Satan.
Okay, I'm gonna have to like dig deeper into that one because
that's their eschatology. Yeah, that's their eschatological scheme. Ask Hyperborean about it. About Jehovah Satan versus Christos Lucifer. They have a Christos figure within Hyperboreanism already.
But what I mean is like it seems like the quote unquote Christian Zionist or whatever you want to call them are doing the same thing essentially. In my opinion, I mean, maybe
they're trying to hijack their project, right? It could be sort of spiritual jujitsu.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what this picture I'm holding up kind of represents, honestly. So.
Sad, Jamal.
Spiritual jujitsu. Yeah, there you go. God is their daddy. Yeah, exactly. The gummy bears. Yeah, he's been using a lot of gummy bear symbolism. So yeah, blessings.
Yeah, thanks Gen X Jeff. You gummy bear pilled me. So all right, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, peace.
Easy.
All right.
Do not seek the transhumanist treasure.
Exactly. We'll be back with more of that article, and also Renee Guinan. And of course we'll proceed from there to look at Skolmowski, Mumford, and I know I said I'd bring back the pre-Socratics, but I think we will take another week just to look at the technology stuff, right, before we come back to that, right? So yes, it looks like we still have a lot of stuff hung over from last week, and I got some good shows for you guys, some good music to explore, and some interesting, obviously as usual, right, ideas, possibly the most extreme cases, right, of technology and spirituality and philosophy run amok in this, kiss on the apocalypse. Blessings to the people. I greatly appreciate you guys. And yeah,
Rocky says it's about overcoming the Babylon system was his prophetic dream.
oh yeah,
That comment there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So we get a little bit of a teaser.
Yeah, a little bit of a teaser. We'll definitely probe Rocky for his idea about destroying the Babylon system, something that definitely we all should participate in.
Babylon all.
Exactly. So yeah, blessings to the people. And of course, peace to all the people, even to the Hyperboreans, and all the others, right, that are there. Even to the Gnostics and all the people that are there, right? We greatly appreciate you, even to the transhumanists, right? We're simply asking tons of questions, right? And looking at different arenas. And of course, blessings. Thank you for joining us here on The Machine Lies, where we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine that lies. And join us tomorrow. Blessings.
Renko Industries, tenfold intricacies. No business justice, no business peace. The Cytotron, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn comes from the gut. Not just a brainy affair, and a check 1-2 to whomever claims me as their squares. I reach kindred spirits on a level that's abstract. We're all kind of messed under the laws of the NASDAQ. This class track culture is reaching its last act. You need chutzpah to branch out of your shtetl. What's the last time you can't say you settled, crab scratch? My balls are as heavy as a shot putters. A tsunami can't happen here, cocksuckers. Every shoreline will change in this century. I got something special for the Civil War sesquicentenary. Adults are a litter, a waste to energy. Stuck in the middle, afraid of their penury. Infantile votes for a surrogate parent. Codicil to the Tocqueville's American experiment. Only thing changed behavior, imminent death. Tongues rot, think they got cinnamon breath. Mortal men and women named Beth. See me say, that's him in the flesh. Underground hypocrites obsessed with celebrities. Your friends are your enemies when it's quote-unquote better than me. They gave slave houses as a wall between natives. So who says a stiff upper lip means uncreative? If homelessness didn't exist, I'd say sure, this country's Christian. Humble congregations, bumbling publications. Regardless, religion fails us, so we turn to psychology. You gotta have the balls to reveal enough that you can't fall in love with all of me. No eye contact with baby, call her colicky. Used to alphabetize records, now cloud is idolatry. Write songs instead of pressing like on a wall for Paul to see. Is my mic on? It's been a type long time since I outrhyme my icons. Strike one, grown-ups know honesty is not the best policy. Don't ask me my opinion if I isn't impressed. I'm not a cynical guest, it's just that you're in denial. Go ahead, what's your definition of imminent death? Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? Freeze, right? Right. Easy, night, night. Wait, what? Wrong. Fight! A fine showing of mind-blowing rhyme flowing out